China has just revealed new footage of its J-20 fighters with redesigned radar domes, and analysts believe this may signal the integration of a next-generation gallium nitride radar. At the same time, the U.S. continues working to integrate the APG-85 into the F-35. Is this a real shift in sensor leadership, or simply different upgrade timelines unfolding in public view? Let's break it down clearly and objectively. Recent footage released from China's Southern Theater Command showed multiple J-20 fighters operating with noticeably different nose cones compared to earlier production batches. For an advanced fighter, that small detail matters. The radar sits directly behind that radome, so any structural change often signals deeper electronic upgrades underneath. Analysts quickly pointed out that the reshaped nose could indicate integration of a new gallium nitride, or GaN, based active electronically scanned array radar. GaN technology allows radar modules to operate at higher power density while generating less heat per unit of output compared to older gallium arsenide systems. In practical terms, that means stronger signals, better efficiency, improved resistance to electronic interference, and potentially longer detection ranges, especially against low observable aircraft. What makes this particularly interesting is timing. The J-20 variant has already introduced other refinements, including a revised canopy design to reduce drag and improved internal systems architecture. Most importantly, it now incorporates the domestically produced WS-15 engine. While thrust often gets the headlines, the engine's electrical generation capacity is just as critical. Advanced radars require significant power and cooling, and greater onboard energy availability expands future upgrade potential. Another factor is physical size. The J-20's nose section is larger than that of many comparable aircraft. A larger radar aperture can support more transmit-receive modules, which generally enhances resolution and tracking precision. That doesn't automatically guarantee superiority, but it provides structural room for growth. However, it is important to remain measured. Chinese authorities have not officially confirmed that the aircraft now uses a GaN radar. A modified radome can suggest an upgrade, yet it does not reveal internal specifications. Performance figures remain classified, and external observers rely primarily on visual cues and industry trends. If the upgrade is confirmed, it would represent a significant milestone in China's radar development trajectory. It would signal that domestic GaN production has matured to the point of large-scale fighter integration. Even if incremental, it demonstrates steady sensor evolution rather than a sudden leap. While attention has focused on China's radar evolution, the United States is in the middle of its own significant transition. The F-35 Lightning II is moving from the APG-81 radar to the newer APG-85, which is also expected to use gallium nitride technology. The APG-85 is designed to deliver stronger output, improved tracking performance, and enhanced adaptability to future electronic environments. Northrop Grumman has positioned it as a key component of maintaining sensor competitiveness in the coming decade. On paper, the upgrade reflects forward-looking modernization rather than reactionary development. So why has integration drawn scrutiny? First, the APG-85 is physically larger than the APG-81. That means modifications to the forward fuselage are required for certain variants. Structural changes inside a stealth aircraft are never trivial. Weight distribution, thermal management, and electromagnetic compatibility all must be recalibrated. Second, the F-35 relies on the Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine. While extremely capable in thrust terms, its power generation and cooling margins are tightly managed. Modern radars, data processing systems, and electronic countermeasure suites all draw heavily on onboard electricity. When introducing higher output GaN modules, the aircraft's internal power architecture must support sustained operation without overheating or degrading performance. Additionally, the F-35 modernization program operates within the broader Block 4 upgrade roadmap. That package includes new software loads, advanced data fusion capabilities, and additional subsystem improvements. Integrating a radar is not an isolated task. It must synchronize with mission computers, sensors, and networking functions. Delays often arise from software validation cycles rather than hardware limitations. Reports surfaced that certain aircraft were temporarily fitted with compensatory nose weights during testing phases related to radar transition work. Such measures can occur during developmental adjustment periods when components are removed or swapped. They are not unusual in aerospace prototyping, though they may appear dramatic when presented out of context. It is also worth remembering that the F-35 fleet numbers in the hundreds across multiple allied operators. Any radar replacement must be scalable, affordable, and compatible with export partners. That adds layers of logistical and contractual complexity not faced by programs serving a single national operator. For decades, stealth dominated headlines. Now, sensors are rapidly taking center stage. Advanced radar technology increasingly determines who detects, tracks, and understands the airspace first. Gallium nitride has accelerated this shift. Higher power efficiency allows for stronger emissions without proportionally higher cooling burdens. That translates into improved range potential and greater resilience against signal disruption. At the same time, digital beamforming and software-defined architectures allow radars to adapt dynamically to evolving electronic environments. The J-20 structural capacity gives it room for larger arrays. The F-35 relies more heavily on integrated sensor fusion, combining radar, infrared search systems, and distributed aperture sensors to create a unified operational picture. These represent two slightly different design philosophies, one emphasizing aperture growth and energy margin, the other emphasizing networked integration and multi-sensor processing. Missile development adds another layer. Chinese long-range air-to-air missiles, such as the PL-15 and PL-17, reportedly use advanced active seekers. The United States is developing the AEM-260 to extend range and improve seeker performance beyond earlier systems. Radar improvements directly enhance missile guidance quality by providing more accurate mid-course updates. Beyond aircraft alone, broader industrial capacity matters. GaN semiconductor production requires advanced fabrication capabilities. Sustaining consistent output at scale is an indicator of technological depth. Both countries are investing heavily in semiconductor ecosystems to support defense and civilian sectors alike. Another factor is future platform evolution. China has already tested prototypes described as next-generation fighters, while the U.S. Next Generation Air Dominance Initiative aims to introduce new systems later this decade. Lessons learned from GaN radar integration today will shape those future designs. The real story is therefore not about a single radar dome or one production delay. It is about upgrade velocity. Which ecosystem can iterate faster? Which industrial base can refine components, integrate software, and distribute improvements across fleets efficiently? Air superiority in the 2030s may hinge less on shape alone and more on sensing sophistication, power management, and adaptability. Radar has become a central pillar of that equation. The emergence of new J-20 radar domes and the ongoing integration of the APG-85 into the F-35 reflect parallel modernization efforts rather than a simple winner-loser narrative. China appears to be advancing its GaN radar capabilities alongside engine improvements that support higher electrical demands. The United States is upgrading a globally deployed aircraft within tight structural and logistical frameworks. Both paths highlight how sensor technology now drives competitive advantage. The larger question is not who moved first this month, but whose industrial ecosystem can sustain innovation over the long term. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Also, you can visit our website, SpaceEyeNews.com. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.